Well, hello, good evening, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen David. Guys, just me tonight. Laura is on what she told me, is it earlier? A back shift or something? She's on a late today. But Laura and I will be here on Sunday night to bring you, obviously, review of the Livingston game, review of the transfer window, and a look ahead to the manic month of February that Rangers have. So Laura Hatton and I will be joined. Just to reiterate that news from this morning, that Laura will be joining the channel. And obviously will be a valuable addition to the channel's hosting, bringing you videos, bringing you streams, bringing you obviously podcasts with myself as well. Laura is a very knowledgeable Rangers fan, an actual Rangers fan. She goes to games. She understands the game of football. She understands Rangers. She is a realistic Rangers fan who knows. There are times we criticise. There are times when we support. We don't just blindly follow like some happy clapper. Well, welcome along to tonight's podcast, guys. Just wanted to kind of come online tonight and bring you a few updates with everything that's been going on as we head towards the final day of this transfer window, which tomorrow we see the January transfer window close in February, which is a little bit bizarre. 11:30 tomorrow night it closes. So we've got a few people saying they'll be here tonight. Obviously, Aldo there. Loyalist is going to be running a bit late. Not a problem, Loyalist. Sharpie says evening troops. So we've bought Silva, Diamande, and Hefte. Is that three I'm missing? Was actually Cortez, buddy. Cortez. He says 4. Let's see how they all settle in. Philip Lynn says, evening people, just in from work. Nothing on Rangers' website about any new signings or loans. Anyone want to tell me if any more signed? They know there is nobody has signed today. William has dropped a hint as to what we're going to talk about initially. Hefte isn't coming. Hefte deal is meant to be dead. It supposedly could happen in the summer. That's what came out in the last 20 minutes. Just the boy from the Norwegian team. Yes, at the moment, that is it. So let's have a little look at that first of all. That deal, that bit of news. I've just dropped a video in the last few minutes about that. Now, this is what has come out tonight. So the story is this. The Hefte to Rangers deal has collapsed, according to Fabrizio Romano. The reason the deal has collapsed is because Apoel Nicosia are not willing to break his loan for the second half of the season and want the player to remain in Nicosia with them. They do not want to allow him to leave. Now, I know what you're asking me now. You're going to be asking me, well, how's that the case? He's Fluminese's player. Surely they just say to him, well, we're selling him, so tough luck. Well, no, that's not how it works, unfortunately, because there is a legally binding contract in place that was signed where there is no break clause in that contract. Hefte does not have to be released by Apoel Nicosia. The contract that was agreed, apparently, with the loan agreement that was agreed initially with Apoel Nicosia was a loan with an option to buy, a season-long loan. Obviously, Nicosia cannot buy players at the moment because of the fact that there is a transfer embargo against a number of Cypriot clubs. So they cannot buy him in the summer either, as they will still be under the transfer embargo. But as it says, they will not break the loan agreement. They want the boy to stay. They do not want him to leave. Therefore, he is going nowhere in this transfer window. Hefte will remain in Nicosia. Now, Fabrizio Romano goes on to say, but I am told that Rangers have a verbal pact in place to reactivate the option to sign Hefte in the summer transfer window. Deal could really happen in June. Key words there, could and verbal pact. Now, we all know that verbal pact is not really worth what it is written. It's not even written, is it? It's verbal. It can be easily broken. So there is nothing in writing. There is nothing secured there. There is no pre-contract agreed. There is no signing guaranteed because obviously he is under contract to Fluminense once that contract with Apoel finishes. So you can't sign a pre-contract with a player who is under contract. You can only sign pre-contracts with guys who are out of contract. So it looks like, obviously, it seems that the Hefte deal is 100% dead and will not be happening. Now, according to a lot of the reports that I'm seeing, this therefore means that Rangers will not be pursuing any further left backs. Okay, they will not be following up on any other interest, which looks like that therefore that Ridvan Yilmaz is going absolutely nowhere at this point in time. Ridvan Yilmaz was the subject of that bid from Galatasaray, a derisory bid, which was turned down by Rangers. Rangers wanting somewhere close to 5 million for him, something Galatasaray are not prepared to match. Therefore, that looks like Ridvan will be staying, which is great news. Ridvan is a very talented player. He's really come onto his game. He's playing very well. He's carrying the attack down the left-hand side in the absence of Abdallah Sima, and playing extremely well. Since he's had that run in the team, since he's got himself fit, he looks a really good player, doesn't he? The worry, I suppose, is the fact that now we've got Ridvan, which is great. The worry is Borna Barisic is his backup. Now, you guys know as well. You guys know my views on Borna. During 55, he was a great left back, a top quality left back. Now, not so much. Slow, negative, passes back too much. His crosses are boring and predictable. He can't go past the man. He's done it once this season. It is a worry that if Ridvan gets injured, what do we do? Now, the other note, of course, is the fact that we can only change 3 players in the Europa squad. Now, if it is that Silva is added, that Diamande is added, and say that the Cortez deal is finalised, we are going to talk about the Cortez deal tonight as well. They are probably going to be the 3 players that get added into the Europa squad. Therefore, meaning that we can't put Balogun in, we can't put Ridvan in. Therefore, meaning that Borna Barisic will have to be our Europa League left back, which I don't know about you guys, scares the living crap out of me. That is obviously only me guessing. I can't, think that this is going to be good for the club, shall we say. What else have we got? Let's have a quick flick through your live chat comments before we get back to what we're going to be discussing tonight. William says, we heard we missed out on the Arsenal right back today as he went to Villa. Supposedly went in for him. That is correct. We were after him, but that's all ended now. Let's fucking do this. The number 56 title is in the fucking blue room. We are the people. No surrender says we are the people. Hello, says Aldo. How you doing, Aldo? Geordie says, heard the Hefte aren't letting him leave, which sounds a bit weird considering he's not their parent club. But like I hopefully have explained now, Geordie, it's because of the fact that it is a season-long loan with no break clause. It's the same way that we couldn't sell Hadji to anybody now. We can't recall Hadji. The only way we can get Hadji back is if Alaves break the loan. They come to us and say, we don't want him anymore, take him back. That is, again, the only way we could actually sell Hadji. If you agree to allow someone to have something for a year, whether that's a player or a car or whatever it is, providing they keep paying him or they make the loan payment, which I'm sure there's a loan fee involved in this deal, there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot get out of it. Orla says, I wanted a striker. Trying Scotsman, Giovanni Reina heading to Nottingham Forest on loan. We should swoop in. And Palace trying to sign a keeper from them. Might be why they tried to steal Handsome Jack. Yeah, obviously that was the news from yesterday. Evening, Philippe. How you doing? Good. Thank you, Andrew. Evening, RFC. CRS says, where is Oscar Cortez? We are going to get to Cortez very shortly. A bit of disagreement over the old Shanklin thing. Adrian says, what's good, Owen? Do you think Shanklin will be signed last minute? I'm going to talk about Shanklin tonight, so hang on for that. A verbal pact is not worth the paper it's printed on. Lol, says Charles. And yeah, I nearly said that, didn't I? A bit stupid, really. But Ridvan stays. Borna leaves in the summer. Hefte comes in to replace Borna. Sounds like a plan. That does seem to be the plan, but whether that actually happens, who knows? It could be that Applewell Nicosia, their transfer ban is lifted and he's persuaded to sign there if they offer him more money. Or Fluminense might decide they don't want to sell him. I don't know. Yes, that appears to be the plan, that Ridvan will stay, that Borna goes, that Hefte comes in. It may even be that we wait till the summer, we sell Ridvan and we can get 11 million pounds for Ridvan. He has a good Euro 2024. He plays for Turkey. He has a great end to the season with us. His value could skyrocket. Why are we waiting to the end of the window to do deals? Good question. We do need players with time to settle in. Great news about Ridvan. Loyalists, I was just saying, the Hefte deal is off. Ridvan will prove so many people wrong between now and the end of the season. Bookmark this. Greg, I'm 100% on your side, buddy. I believe you. I for one, do think that Ridvan is a fantastic player. I think he's a very talented left back. I think he will make a big difference. I think he will prove himself as the season goes on. David says Ridvan should be in the European squad. Not so sure about Silva so far. The only issue, I suppose, with Silva, though, is, David, that we have him on a loan deal. And it may be that part of that loan deal is we agreed to play him in games and we agreed to play him in Europe as well. Unfortunately, when teams lend you players, it is under the proviso that you play them and you use them. Unless, of course, it's a very complicated decision. Unless it is like Hadji, I suppose it's a difficult one. I suppose the argument would be that if Silva doesn't play, then why would Wolves want him to be here? they could have received some assurances about the amount of play time that he will get, or game time, should I say, rather than play time. I'm surprised we didn't grab Shankland, says Sharpie Staunch. Apparently fake Fabrizio Romano account. Yes, that was absolutely. Apparently it's still on. No, it's not King Rec. It is done. It is over. It is not happening. Still confident there will be a few to come, says Scott Hammond. Silver played 60 minutes. What are the Cypriot team on a transfer ban? Anyone know? It's for debts, mate. For debts. They've run up debts and are in breach of their league's debt rules on how much debt you can run up. And that's why they're under a ban. So far, Silva, Diamande are the only ones confirmed. Cortez is not official as of yet. Gio would have got Rayner if he was ever going to join Rangers. Very true. Wouldn't be surprised if we get Barron tomorrow. That's it. Logistically, it will be easier to leave it till then. I think if Connor Barron comes, it will be in the summer. Aberdeen have obviously sacked Barry Robson today. I think there'll be a lot of uncertainty around Barry Robson, around what is happening at Aberdeen as regards their next manager. Now, there's a lot of talk that they're looking at Neil Warnock to come in to be their new managers on a caretaker basis until the end of the season. That's been something that's been discussed. I think the issue will be that they won't want, with a new manager coming in now, they won't allow any of their players to go. They won't allow Barron to leave. Yes, I know he's out of contract and he walks for nothing in the summer, but they are perhaps hopeful that a new manager may persuade him to stay. I can't see the Barron deal going through until the summer. It may be there's a pre-contract in place. If there is a pre-contract in place, great news. Look, Connor Barron is fantastic. Unbelievably great news. Great news. Absolutely brilliant. If we could get him in, he is a very talented player. But again, it's an if, it's a why, it's a maybe. John, it says Hefte in the summer verbal agreement. Yes, it's the verbal agreement, John. But as we know, verbal agreements are worth nothing. There's nothing to stop them going back on that. Let's face it. Bayern Munich tore up a written agreement on an option with a loan to buy on Malik Tillman, didn't they? So, look, if the player doesn't want it, if the club doesn't want it, it's even more shaky than the Malik Tillman thing. So I can't see, I think it is very much thrown up in the air. William says probably a lone striker from the EPL team, maybe, possibly. Is Sifu in the European squad? Yes, he is, Ian, but it looks like he is off to Cruzeiro. According to all the reports, that will be done before the transfer deadline today. In Brazil, it will be done and dusted. Sifu will be out on loan to Cruzeiro. No striker, no title win. Yes, Ian. Snaky Chip says it's going to take a few transfer windows for Clement to get the players he wants. We need to be patient. You're correct. 100% Snaky. You're 100% correct. Rome was not built in a day. It was burnt down in one, but it was not built in a day. You can't build the perfect team in January transfer window, as we've seen. The FFP's kicked in for a lot of teams, Manchester City, Arsenal, Newcastle, all struggling to buy players down south. I think, that's one issue. So people not wanting to release players. The FFP has been really strict this time. People not wanting to leave. People not wanting to lose their best players in January. You're more likely to let's see those players moving on at the end of the season, because let's face it, if you're still in a relegation scrap or a title fight or a European place fight or a cup competition or in Europe, you want to keep the strongest possible squad and you don't want to allow your players to leave. That obviously will be something that a lot of clubs will be considering. Sharpie asks, Owen, do you think we can win 56 with Dessers up front? No, I don't. I think absolutely impossible. I don't think it is at all possible that we win with Dessers up front. I think that if we have Dessers up front, look, nothing against Serial Dessers. The guy is starting to score, but he doesn't score enough goals for me. He misses too many easy chances. Dumbarton game 5 chances, scores 1. The Hibs game scores that great goal, then just smashes one straight at the goalkeeper. The Celtic one for me is unforgivable. He just, when the pressure comes on, he doesn't seem to be able to do it. And that is something that would really worry me going forward. I'd go for Armstrong of Kilmarnock, but a striker is very much needed. Any suggestions other than Shankland? Haaland on the bench tonight, get a cheeky bit. I can't see it happening. Exactly, Owen. John seems it's more solid. Hayes desired to come, but I don't see a few. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have 4 players to add to the European squad if Sifu goes. Says Ian. Hopefully, Ueda says John. That's the guy from Feyenoord, I think. Trusting Big Phil. The top priority this window would have been to find a goal scorer. They have someone in the bag, says Stuart. I hope so, Stuart. I hope so. It's not what I'm hearing, but I hope so. Richard Upton says, sign Hugo Kuipers. Hugo, that has officially now not been denied, and apparently he is on the move, but not to Rangers. Apparently he has an alternative destination. What about the boy who went from Arsenal to Villa? We were interested, William, but he's chose Villa over us. Look, Villa are a top 6 Premier League team. They're fourth. They're chasing down a Champions League spot this season. You know, you can't blame the lad from that aspect. You love Big Silver. I don't hate him. I just don't think he's good enough for Rangers. This isn't our biggest problem on midfielders. Cantwell and Raskin never dominate Old Firm matches. It's a good point. Cantwell has been poor. Raskin has not been at his best. I agree with you, Stuart. We do need a step up in there. William's right. You can only change 3 players in your Euro squad. I think even if someone leaves, although I'm not quite sure on the rules if someone transfers out of the squad, whether you can then replace that person. But then again, actually, no, I don't know. I think that would count towards your 3. So no, you can only change 3 unless you sell 4 from a Euro squad. I presume that would be the case. You could then do that. Where are we? Not linked with Haaland's mate last summer. We were. Kuipers going to the MLS for 12 million, says David P. That is correct. Like I just said, he's not coming to Rangers. Now, 212 of you watching, guys. Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. Obviously, please smash that sub. We are so close to 5,000. This is a daily Rangers news channel. As it says at the bottom, scrolling along there, no Patreon, no paywall at all, guys. So please, obviously, come and obviously subscribe to the channel. Now, it is so we know now that the Hefte deal is dead. It is not going to happen. Primetime hopes it's a busy one tomorrow. So do I. Primetime, I don't think it will be. But I hope against hope that I'm wrong and that we do things. Now, let's talk first of all about Cortez, and then we'll have our daily chat about old Mr. Shankland as well, and what's happening with him. So let's first talk about the Oscar Cortez deal. Now, it was being widely reported today, this afternoon, and guys, I must have sat at my computer clicking refresh on X God knows how many times about thinking, you know what, let's hope that this deal is going to get done soon. Let's hope it's announced soon. Let's hope we see the pictures soon. Let's hope this is going to be done. Come on, Rangers, make an announcement. Come on, Rangers, make an announcement. Come on, Rangers, and nothing has happened yet. So as yet, there is no announcement. So where are we with Oscar Cortez at this moment in time? So this is what I know to be the case. So it has been tweeted out or X'd out by Heart and Hand and by Four Lads Had a Dream that it is done deal, right? Okay, so that's one thing. So if it is the case that Heart and Hand are that Heart and Hand have said yes, it's done, that Four Lads have said it's done, that I think there's a good chance that it is done. So it has not been formally announced yet. Now, according to the reports that are coming out of all these media organizations, it is that he's passed his medical, that he's agreed a contract, that the contract is a loan with an option to buy in the summer. That's the talk. It's a loan with an option to buy in the summer. It will then be a 4-year contract at the end of that period if we choose to buy Cortez. So that's where we're up to at the moment. There is no formal announcement from the club. That is slightly concerning, that there has been no formal announcement as yet. Now, one of the rumours that has been doing the rounds tonight is that the reason they are delaying the announcement until deadline day tomorrow is that Cortez will be the last signing of the January transfer window, that there will be no more signings after Cortez, that will be it. Now, that will mean that the signings have been Silva, Diamande and Cortez, that 3 players have been brought in. We have brought in a midfielder. We have brought in a striker in Silva. We can debate whether or not Silva's a striker, of course, and Cortez a winger. That we've addressed 3 positions in this window. And we were going to address 4. Hefte was going to come in, but that deal has obviously collapsed. That is the report, the rumor that is doing the rounds. I don't know how true it is. I am going to do some more investigation and digging and have a look at that for the morning news video, guys. A reminder: we always bring you a morning news video here on the channel, and it is free. Unlike some channels that charge you for the privilege of watching a morning news video, we don't charge you for that privilege. So what have we got in the live chat before I get back to what I want to talk about tonight? Shame Seema's out. I'd have liked to see him on one wing and Cortez on the other. David, that would have been a very scary thought for opposition teams, wouldn't it? Seema down the left, Cortez down the right. Seema cutting in on his right foot, Cortez cutting in on his left foot, and then them switching so they can go outside. It would have been a very scary one indeed. Seema hopefully will be back at the end of the season, so maybe, hopefully, we can see at the end of the season a bit of Seema, a bit of Cortez together. And who knows what is going to happen with Seema come next season. Clemmer's going to walk out looking like an Emperor Palpatine tomorrow night with the amount of work he's been putting in the last day. Evening, fellow Bears. Evening, Craig. Kuiper's selling out to the MLS at the age of 26. Yeah, I agree. It's a retirement league. Striker still needed, says Matt Gunner. It will be more morning troops for Cortez. I think Cortez will be getting left till the last day, probably after the media team get all the videos, etc. done. Good afternoon from Brazil. Don Ricardo, how you doing in Brazil, buddy? Are you live on YouTube later? No, I'm not. This is it tonight. I'm doing this tonight. I'm not doing any more tonight. Doing their usual unveiling tomorrow, as there are no others coming, though Phil said he will be working right up until the last minute. Waiting until tomorrow for Cortez. We'll announce it tomorrow for maximum media exposure on deadline day. Agreed. Loan to buy in place is better than wasting money like Bill does on some players. I suppose as well, Philippe, you pick up on that. It is a kind of a chance to kind of try before you buy, isn't it? There's a lot of places now, even Amazon, you can do try before you buy. I guess this is the footballing version of try before you buy. We get to see Cortez, whether we like Cortez, whether we want Cortez, whether Cortez is one for the future or not. So that is certainly, they're going to be a decent one. Good shout from Philippe there. Article 46 of UEFA registration allows only 3 new players in your 25-man submission, including 2 goalkeepers. There is no announcement. Absolutely. There we go. Thank you, Blue Bells, for clearing that up. Yeah, I hadn't looked into it. I'd actually only looked into the 3-player rule. So we can only change 3 players. And like I said, if Cortez and Diamande and Silva are the 3, then there's no chance to bring in Big Leon or Big Ridvan. Thank you, Michael Beale, for screwing that one up, you absolute moron. We're after a striker as well. There will be another after Cortez, says RF72. I hope you're right, buddy. Cortez, so yeah, Cortez is in Scotland. Like I said, he is in Scotland. Evening, Mark. Shanklin will be going along the M8 tomorrow. We're waiting on Hart signing 2 attackers as replacements this week, says Ian Rollo. Agree, Philippe gives the lads the chance to settle into the country for 6 months before making the deal permanent. That's about the loan to buy. We've got a better squad than that lot. We can win the league, just keep winning the games. Like I said, Philip, the only concern for me is the striker situation. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. Why are we not getting rid of our injury-prone players? A lot of duds for big wages, Stuart. That's a great question. Stuart, do you know why we're not doing it? Because nobody wants them. That's the reason. That's because nobody wants them. Right? You tell me, how can, and I'm not criticizing you for this, I'm not having a go. How can you get someone to buy Kemar Roof, who's out injured at the moment? How can you get someone to buy Ryan Jack, who's going to be out of contract at the end of the season anyway? How can you get someone to buy Tom Lawrence, who's out injured? Nobody wants to spend money on players that are out constantly. You're not going to be able to sell players who are injured at the moment because teams will not want to sign an injured player, unless you're Southampton, obviously. I don't know if you guys know the story of Southampton. Southampton paid £10 million for Ross Stewart from Sunderland when he was injured. He came back, played 45 minutes, and is injured again now and out for the rest of the season. So I think we had a lucky escape, didn't we? That was one player that we were reportedly interested in last summer. Yeah, absolutely. So that was a lucky escape. Jeff Day deal has fallen through, Mark. You are correct. Any news on Danilo when he's coming back? Stephen, he is pretty much done for the season, according to all reports. It would be April, end of April at the earliest for him to come back. Then you've got a situation where it's going to take him 4 to 6 weeks to get his match sharpness back. You're looking at what, May, June? The season's done and dusted by that point. So Danilo, I think we write him off till next season. We won't see him till next season. Let him have a full off season with our team. Then I guess we'll see what player we've got next season. So basically, we won't be able to change the likes of Balogun and Ridvan for the Euro squad. If we have, agreed. That's right, William. So if we put Diamande, Silva, and Cortez into the European squad, which I strongly suggest we will, as there are signings, and I think there'll be faith put in those guys, we cannot add Ridvan, we cannot add Balogun to the European squad. That is correct. So we are stuck with the Euro squad as it is, with Davis, with whoever we bring out. We'll obviously have to bring some players out of the Euro squad to put Cortez, Diamande, and Silva in. So we're stuck with those players. So Barisic will be the left back going forward, unless Dujon Sterling is, going to play tonight. That is going to play some role at left back. So look, that is just how it is, guys. That is just how it is. Bluebell says Cortez will be 7 million if you want to buy. He better be good. I must say that's more than I've seen him valued at. Predicting one player tomorrow after Cortez. Yeah, maybe March. March is Kemar Roof. We sell Roof to medical science. Yeah, lol. Rotondo is injury prone as well. Very true. Shanklin and Cortez are shopping in Asda Govan. I wish. If we don't sign a striker, we can still win the league. The rest of the games are going to be long, drawn out, and scrappy, says Geordie. Still need a striker, even a backup as Dezers in case he gets injured. That is a brilliant point. You know, that I'll come back to. Philippe, I'll come back to your point in a minute. Look, that is a brilliant point about Dessers, about the situation. You know, looking at it is this: if let's say tomorrow, worst case scenario, we don't sign a striker tomorrow. Now, like I said, there are reports that I'm reading tonight that we are not going to sign any more players after Cortez. That Cortez will be the final announcement on deadline day, and that will be our business done. That's what I'm hearing. Now, how true that is, I don't know. It could be utter rubbish. It might not be true. Right. Let's just put that out there. It might be rubbish. Okay. But if it isn't, then that therefore leaves us with Silva and Dessers as our strike force for the rest of the season. Now, the question you've got to kind of put is that enough to get enough goals to win us a title? Is that enough to get us goals when we need them in crucial games where perhaps we have in the past not been clinical enough, not finished teams off? I think particularly of the Aberdeen game at Pittodrie that finished 1-1, that we should have won. We had the chances, we just didn't take them. I think of the game at Parkhead against Celtic, where again, we had the chances, we just didn't take them. To some extent at Ibrox against that lot. Again, we had the chances, we just didn't take them. Now, my worry is that, yes, Dessers is scoring goals, and yes, Dessers may end up scoring 20 goals this season, which is a very big possibility. But will that be enough to win us the league? Will that be enough to carry us to the title? Or if he gets injured, you're then relying on Fabio Silva to be your out-and-out striker. Is he the only option? Is he the future? Zach Lovelace could come back, could play, but we don't know if Zach Lovelace can carry the front line. He's never had to do it. The only game he's played in the first team has been as a winger. So there is a real worry there for me. Any news on Roof? He's out till the end of March. Unfortunately, Scott, he will. 4 million I've seen for Cortez. Like I said, I've seen about my valuation that I read, David, was 3.5 to 4 million. Absolutely. Beal is a clown up there with Craig White, in my opinion, says Mark Webster. Absolutely agree with you on that one. William says, David, I think the run of home games might hinder us. We always play better away from home, especially when the fans get disgruntled. Yeah, some people say that, don't they? That, you know, playing away from home is easier than playing at home because, you know, the away fans that you take away with you, however many it is, whether it's 500 or 2,000, are always vocal. They're always behind you. They're always fully supportive of you, and they get behind you no matter what. Whereas home crowds, I mean, we have the best fans in the world, don't get me wrong. We have the most amazing fans in world football. But when you're playing at home, yes, there are times when the crowd can get a bit antsy. The crowd can get a bit on you. You know, if it's 0-0 and it's going to like 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, if you're missing a lot of chances, the crowd get on your back. That's just what happens. And that's not just Rangers. That's Newcastle, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Feyenoord, Ajax. Wherever you go, you see that. So you could be right there, William. You very much could be right. Why would Lorne sell him? I don't know. I really don't know why they're selling him. Back to facts. Nobody wants to dross at your... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's get rid of this idiot here. I think he is a mank. It'll be Shanklin and Cortez unveiling tomorrow's deadline, says Adrian. Any news on Roof coming back from injury? For me, he's the best striker at the club. Shame he's so injury prone. He won't be back till the end of the window. It's not just strikers that score goals. You're right. You're true, William. But, you know, are we going to get enough goals from the rest of the team? Have we seen enough from the rest of the team to get the goals? That is the question, William. William, yeah, good point. Aberdeen worry me. Our record this season against them has been poor. Probably also have a new manager bounce. Well, we know one thing, David, that new manager bounce won't start on Saturday. They'll still bend over and take it from Celtic. We know that'll happen no matter who is the manager. Unless he knows Roof is back in March, he's getting settling for what he has till the... Yeah, he is. Absolutely. I don't think Roof is back. I don't think Roof is back. If Dessers gets good service, he will score more than miss, as his confidence will increase, says Kevin. Kevin, I wish I shared your optimism. Who are the idiots running the club? Anyone see we need a striker, says Aldo. Stuart, good evening, buddy. How you doing? We need a striker. If we don't get one, we won't win anything. Clement not interested in Shanks, in my opinion, would be a surprise if it happens. Don't think Big Phil would let the board off if not buying a striker. Good question there. Unsigned says Dessers has had a few good games, but he's a confidence player. He just needs a couple of bad games and there'll be another gold route. What do we do then? That's a brilliant point. Unsigned. Ronald de Boer said that, didn't he? He said that Dessers is a pure confidence player, that when he's in confidence, he'll look like a world beater, and when he hasn't got confidence, he'll look like an absolute sack of spuds. There was a great comparison between Dessers and Sakala on X earlier, and there is very little difference in the production at the moment between Sakala and Dessers, but Sakala is better than Dessers in terms of assists and goals by this stage of the season. We've just paid a lot more money for Dessers. I don't know why. Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with you, David. Like Dessers, but he's not good enough. Hope he proves me wrong, says Aldo. Rangers fans, Fluminense fans are the most passionate in the world, says Dom Ricardo. Brilliant, Dom. I've never seen a Fluminense game, so I can't comment on Fluminense's fans. I can only comment on our fans, who are the greatest fans in world football. We need a proven goal scorer who can consistently score for us to win the league. For the money, the Champions League money will cover what we get. It's a great point. You know, this is something I've been talking about, isn't it? Speculation to accumulate. Now, people obviously have talked about Miovski. I don't see that happening now that Aberdeen have sacked their manager. I think that they will want to keep hold of all their players and allow the new manager to assess what he wants and what he doesn't want, and how he wants to play and what he wants to keep. So I can't see that happening. Look, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys out there. Now, this is what I've read tonight, is that Lawrence Shankland is subject of a second contract offer from Hearts. Okay. Now, according to the rumours, he has until tonight to sign that contract. Whether he does or not, we don't know. Now, another story that is going around is that apparently Hearts, have said they have not received any requests to speak to Shankland and have not received any bids for Shankland. That is what Hearts are saying. Now, whether they're saying that to try to force Shankland to sign a deal, I don't know. They could be playing mind games, or whether or not that's true, I don't know. Now, look, I've got nothing against Lawrence Shankland. I think Lawrence Shankland is a very good striker. I would love Lawrence Shankland in a blue shirt. I'd love him to run out on Saturday against Livy in a Rangers shirt and score and help us to win the league. And I think he probably could score enough goals to help us win the league. However, I am genuinely of the opinion that Lawrence Shankland is not on Niels Coppen's radar and is not on Philippe Clement's radar. Okay, I genuinely do not think either of those guys. And at the end of the day, I know we have a football board, which Craig Robertson sits on, which James Bisgrove sits on, and a couple of other people sit on. But I think at the end of the day, the decisions over which players we get, which players we sign, which players we offer new deals to down to will come down to two men and two men alone, Niels Coppen and Philippe Clement. And I'll be absolutely honest with you guys. I think there is zero interest in Lawrence Shankland from Rangers. I think it is all fan and media driven. I think the media have picked up on the fan frenzy. They're doing it to sell papers, to get clicks on their websites. I don't think there is any interest in Lawrence Shankland. I would love to be proved wrong, and I hope come 11:30 tomorrow I am proved wrong. But I just cannot see it happening. That would be amazing, Robert. Can't say how many, but that would be absolutely amazing. I'd play Lundstrom in a more attacking midfield role, as he has a wicked shot and is being held back by playing a holding role, says Kevin. I mean, he was a box-to-box midfielder at Sheffield United, and when he started his career at Everton, so yeah, that could be a possibility. I love Big Phil, great. Finally have a great manager. Just hope the board don't piss him about. Agree, Aldo. He's a great manager. We must have some sort of plan to work around this Euro squad selection, says William. You'd hope so. You'd certainly hope so. But the problem is we have to abide by UEFA's rules. So, you know, we may change in Diamande. We may change in Silva. We may change in what's he called? Cortez. But it's who we change out of that European squad. We'll have a little look at the European squad in a minute. That's the Sakala miss v Celtic, up there with the Dessers miss, isn't it, I suppose? Up there with the Dessers miss. Why is the board not letting Clem loose on transfers to build the team he wants, says Mr. Bennett. I think, Mr. Bennett, the issue is for FFP and having the money to do so. We unfortunately just have not got the money we used to have to just go and splash it left, right and centre. Look, I started supporting Rangers in the days when we had Graham Souness as our manager, when we could afford, we could buy whoever we wanted. We bought Terry Butcher, we bought Graham Roberts, we bought Mark Walters, we bought Trevor Francis, we bought Robert Fleck, we bought, we went out and we just, Gary Stevens, Trevor Stephen, We went out Terry Hurlock. We went out and splashed the cash as much as we wanted to. We had the 90s eras with the Gazas and the Laudrups, the Rixons, the Newmans, the Moles, the Persos, the Yeloviches, the Marco Negris, and we could just buy who we wanted to. But those days are gone. Those days are no longer here. To go and buy those sorts of players now, you need Premier League money. Money, unfortunately, we just don't have. Sakala also gave Tags problems. He did, John, and I like Sakala. No, you can't. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Don't know. 100% do not know. Just heard we signed Shankland. Yes. Where did you hear that, Gary? That's not something I've heard at all. Don't get me wrong. I wish we kept Sakala. I agree with you. Maybe Lovelace is in Big Phil's thoughts. When's he back? Now, according to reports, he was back on the grass and training, Craig, end of January, which is now, I suppose. Whether or not he's fit enough to play, I don't know. I haven't seen him play in any B team games. Whether he suffered an injury setback at the moment, there doesn't appear to be a lot of news around that deal. Guys, where are we getting this about Lawrence Shankland from? I'd love to know, where are we getting the Lawrence Shankland news from? Because there's nothing on the media at this moment in time. There is nothing breaking as regards that deal being done and dusted. There's nothing on X either. Nothing at all there. Nothing breaking out on X either. So I can't. Aldo, I don't know. We don't have Shankland. Let's just get that clear. He has not signed. John says Aberdeen want 5 to 7 from Miovski. The only thing I'd say about that, John, is at the moment, with the fact they've sacked Barry Robson today, I don't think they'll sell players now. I think they'll hold on to what they've got because they will want the new manager to assess what they've got. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. 100% do not know. We're going to win the league. We're going to win the league, says Gary. I hope so, Gary. No Seaman, no Danilo, even Roof. Silver, not a goal scorer. Now we need a striker, says Scott. Scott, I agree. We do need a striker. Like I said, there are worrying reports that we're not going to sign anyone else. This is it. After we get Cortez tomorrow, that will be deals done, finished. David says, I believe Hearts would rather sell Shankland now if he doesn't sign a new deal. However, I don't think there's any real interest in him from anyone, ourselves included. Yeah, like I said, it has been reported that Hearts have said they've had no interest. Gary, where are you hearing this? Please let me know where you're hearing this story from, because I do not see it in the media anywhere. Shankland has no ambition because it's no-brainer. They will get more. I don't think it's as much that, Stuart. I just don't think Coppen and Clement are interested in him. I might be wrong. I'd love to be wrong. Do you think it came to it? You could alternate Cantwell or Lawrence at an extra 9? It's a possibility, Mark. I mean, we did see some great interplay, didn't we, in the Copenhagen game, where Cantwell and Silva were rotating that 10 position and the 9 position, where Cantwell was going in advance of Silva, Silva was dropping back, and then they were swapping again. So it could be that we try and do that, maybe with Lawrence and I don't know. It could work, man. It could work, my man. It could work. All over social media about Shankland's sign, says Aldo. Aldo, I'm not seeing it, buddy. It's not on any official sites anyway. Nothing on anything official. At this moment in time. Let me see if I can find out what I can find out for you. No, nothing. There's literally nothing. Where on social media are you seeing this? Please let me know where you're seeing this, because like I said, it isn't anywhere. It may be fans trying to drum up interest again, but there are no official sources at the moment about where he's coming from. This is from Hart, says Gary. Wait and see. He could push for a move. He could. Philip will get it done. Let me see if I can find this information out for us. Like I said, I would love to be. Look, guys, I'd love to be proved wrong that we have signed Shankland. That would be great news if we have signed Shankland. I can see that Scott Fraser has joined Hearts on loan. I'll see if there's anything on Twitter about it. Rumour Rangers pay $3.5 million for Shankland, says Aldo. Gary, we really haven't, says Scott. Exactly, Stuart. Transfer request. It is the fans that want Shankland, not all the fans, but some, not the board. Gary says, well, pending the medical clubs have agreed fees, says Gary in his message. Let's have a look. like I said, I'll have a look on the Hearts Twitter feed as well. What we're seeing here with this possibility. Again, there's nothing on their Twitter either. It's all about Scott Fraser signing. Happy birthday to Christoph Bearer. Tickets for Sunday's game. One Generation. There's nothing there at the moment on the Hearts and anywhere on Hearts website or Hearts Twitter feed about Lawrence Shankland. Now, if you're talking about that is a fake Fabrizio Romano account. So this Rangers have completed Lawrence Shankland deal with Hearts. It will be done and sealed on Thursday. Understand Rangers will pay $3.5 million plus $1.5 million add-ons. Fabrizio, it's not the real Fabrizio Romano. It's the fake Fabrizio Romano account that is tweeting this out. So I don't believe it, if I'm being honest with you. January is a difficult window to get players in. The summer will be the big window for us. We can sanction a loan deal for a striker. Agreed. Shankland is on his way. I don't think he is. Shankland signing is from a Fabrino. Yes, that's what I've just said. It's from a fake account. It's not right. Fraser and Danda being funded by Shankland's Dosh, says Ian Rollo. Fuck the MSM, lol. Nothing on Twitter from reliable sources. Agreed. It's from the fake Fabrizio. It's everywhere. 2 minutes to I find official site. Be right back. It's about finding those hidden gems. Yeah, that's what Clement's trying. That's what Clement and Coppen are trying to do. Bring in the hidden gems, isn't it? 241 people watching. Please smash that like, guys. As we're talking through all transfer business at the moment. You know where it's looking, how it's looking going forward. Going through your tweets, going through what you're saying. Guys, look. Going back to the Shankland thing, I would love the Shankland thing to be true. I'd love it to be a fact. But look, I said the only place that I'm finding anything about Lawrence Shankland is on that fake Fabrizio Romano account, which is Fabrizio Romani, which is a fake account. Absolutely. You don't know that Shankland is the only striker on the planet. Absolutely, he's not. He isn't the only striker on the planet, and that's why I've been saying all week. If you read my tweets, if you read and you listen to what you've said on the videos, I've said all week that Shankland is not on the club's radar. That we are looking at other strikers. That if we do sign a striker, I don't know if we will. I've got my doubts at the moment that it will be someone we haven't heard of yet. It'll be someone from Scandinavia, someone from Croatia, someone from Poland, someone from South America, someone we haven't genuinely heard of yet. Sorry, but the free spending of the past days cost us pounds and shares. What planet was this? Absolutely, it's done and dusted. Those days of spending money are over. We haven't got the money anymore. Haven't got the money. Let's stop this Dessa's indecent chat. He is not good enough for us to make a fist of this tile. Agreed. Kyle, agreed. Robson was sacked. Yes, Philip Gage, he was sacked earlier today. But Barry Robson was sacked by Aberdeen earlier today. Gary said he saw it from Hearts. I prefer the facts, concrete, not BS. I absolutely agree with you, Philippe. 100%, buddy. Would not need to rush a Shankland deal because he's just along the road. Where are you hearing the Rangers business is done? Says AMAC, well, I would tell us where you're getting your sources from. That's tell us otherwise. In terms of what? Where am I getting my sources from about what? About the Shankland thing? It's from a number of different places that I'm getting this talked about, and it's been from people who've been previously in the game. It's been from other podcasters saying from the whole Shankland thing about. It's even Hart and Hand are even talking about it, to be honest with you. Could look at Shank's stats. He is a striker that loses possession the most in the league, also robbed of the ball. He needs more chances of goal conversion rate to Dessers. Go look it up, says Bobby Finley. Can't see anything in the papers about Shankland signing. Aldo, leave the poor man alone, mate. Ha ha. Shankland signs, we win the league, says Kyle. Interesting. It's a parody account. Shankland hasn't signed, unsigned. Absolutely, that's what I mean. It's the fact, yeah, absolutely. Hefte deal postponed until the summer. Apparently, guess it means Ridvan is staying for the rest of the season. Woohoo! That's what I've certainly heard. That's what we opened the podcast with, talking about that tweet from the real Fabrizio account, which was that the Hefte deal has been scrapped. It is dead due to the fact that Apoel don't want to break that loan agreement with Fluminense. What else have we got in this live chat? Let's go through it. Let's try and find some more points that you guys have got for me. Wait and see. Dessers is good guy, but not clinical enough. I agree. Boring deadline day again, Rangers, says John. Hopefully not, John. Hopefully not. Only thing I can find about Shankland is someone on follow saying he's been told Shankland's rejected the new contract offer. Well, that is a possibility. He may have done. Doesn't mean he's going to come to us. That is the thing I would say. Martin says Shanks would jump at the chance if there was a deal there, but there's been no approach from Rangers as Hearts are wanting up to 5 million. This is what I've heard. That there has been no approach for Rangers. They don't want to. We don't sign Shankland, but willing to resign Lundstrom, dearie me. Who's talking crap? Rangers 55. Let me know who's talking crap. Utter nonsense, says Scott 05. Nottingham Forest apparently told about to bid 15 million for Jack. Two things about that, John, is number one, I don't know where Forest are getting their money from, because Forest are under investigation in the EPL for breaching rules on debt and on financial fair play. Also, Forest are actually down the bottom of the league. Jack Butland as well has talked about the fact that he wants to come here, that he wants to win trophies, that he wants to play in Europe. He's not going to play in Europe with Look, nothing against Nottingham Forest. They are a very fine club. They have won 2 European Cups when Brian Clough was their manager, but they have done nothing now for decades. They have done nothing other than yo-yo up and down the leagues for decades now. They're a very fine club. I've got nothing against Nottingham Forest, but it would be a huge backward step for Butland to join them. I think unless Forest were to come in with a bit of 20, 25 million, I don't think the board even consider it. And the board have said in this window, absolutely nothing going on with that deal at all. There is no truth in it. They will not let him leave. He is going absolutely nowhere in this window. A lot of you tweet saying about the fake Fabrizio account. That's where the news about Shankland is coming from. It's on Google. He signed. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? Target Shankland gets new Hearts contract offer. Gorgie. Rangers linked striker offered new improved deal. Shock reason why Rangers may avoid Shankland move. Lawrence Shankland says no to Celtic. There is nothing on Google about it. I can't find it. Although I meant looking for Shankland news, mate. Ha ha. Folk on the source tonight. It's a Tim on the wind up. Top story, says Gary. Okay, let's try and get into it. I'm gonna Google Rangers FC, see what I can find out from Rangers FC on Google now. So the top story on Google News is Transfer Live, meant to be new Rangers signing proudly wears club colours in childhood photo. That's the Diamande note. The Daily Record and not reporting it at all. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. I'm not seeing it. Sorry, Gary. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just not seeing it. 15 million for Jack. Is that including his beanstalk? Lol. It's not official till it's officially out of the horse's mouth, says Jim Cunningham. To be honest, it's true. If it's true, but if not, I will wait and see. Absolutely. Block the guys. It's Tim's on the wind up. I've sent the link. Where have you sent the link to, Crib? Where's the link been sent to? Has it been sent? Have you sent it in this live chat somewhere? Because this live chat is going absolutely mental. I'm struggling to keep up with it, to be honest, tonight. Anything I can find about Shankland is that, yeah, we've got that. We've read that. I'm going to try and get all the way to the bottom now. So we've got here, Gary's is at it, for fuck's sake, wide up Owen. Wise up Owen. No striker, don't trust the board. Butland would be wasted at Nottingham Forest. I agree, Philippe, he would be. Can Shankland come to us for free at the end of the year? No, he's got 18 months left on his deal, James. Dessers is class, and Clement is finally starting to get a tune out of him. Some signings take time. Look like a striker short of confidence for years, says 56. Transfer deadline day closes at 11:30 tomorrow, guys. Not midnight tonight. Not midnight tonight. Guys, I will keep looking into the whole Shankland thing as much as I can. I don't think it's true. Remaining striker Jerde Sellersvon has been approached. He plays in Norway, apparently. The business is done for the window. I left back in the summer, says 56. We are the people. Board don't get a striker. There's not taking it seriously that we need 56. Look, I don't think that. Yeah, I think we would refuse 15 million. I don't think that's that. Don't give him on the Shankland deal yet. What else have we got here? This board meant to show ambition. Fuck's sake, too many Tedesca's. Sorry, not going to win us 56. If he gets injured, then what? Agreed. That is absolutely spot on. Hani says, news, faking them my expert's tits. That's funny. Just wait till tomorrow, fella bears. Look, I think this is what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to the fact that what happens tomorrow. What goes on tomorrow? It's because there's yet another rumor there. Shankland to be in talks with Newcastle, but Newcastle haven't got any money. James, no, Hefte deal is dead. It died earlier. The reason being is that Apoel will not break the loan agreement. The terms of that deal are such that because it is a loan, a season-long loan with no break clause, Apoel don't have to agree to release him. They're not going to release him. He's come back from being AWOL. He is training with them again, so that they are not going to allow him to leave. So yeah, the Hefte deal is very much dead and done and dusted. Shankland has just signed for Real Madrid. Do you know what, mate? Shankland's retired. I've just seen Shankland actually. He just walked past my house. He's heading down to the Nuneaton Borough ground to sign for Nuneaton Borough in the Beezer Homes Midland division. Look, we can all make up a room. Of course we can. 226 watching, guys. Please smash that like, please. Obviously, as well, if you haven't subbed to the channel, remember this is a daily Rangers news channel where you get all of your daily news. Look, the Cortez deal hopefully will go through tomorrow. It looks like it's all done and dusted from what is being reported. If Heart and Hand are saying it, it's done and dusted. If Four Lads are saying it's done and dusted, we know that's fairly reliable. We know that is done and dusted. So it is a worrying report that I'm hearing tonight that we have finished our business, that once Cortez is signed, that is it, no more deals. There would have been the Hefte deal, but unfortunately that's off. It means Ridvan's staying, which is good news. Look, it is what it is. Look, I honestly do believe we need a striker. I'm hoping that the reports I'm reading are utter rubbish. Look, social media is such a dangerous place. Look, and it is a massively dangerous place. You can make anything up. You're seeing tonight the chaos that Fabrizio Romano account's causing. That's not a real Fabrizio Romano account. Earlier today, there was a transfer. It's got a blue tick by it. Transfer Centre 9, it's called, said that we'd agreed a 5 million deal to sign Kevin Denke from Bruges, which is utter rubbish because the guy's going to La Liga. This was the same organisation that reported at the start of the transfer window that we'd signed Scott McKenna on a £1 million deal, but he's obviously now joined FC Copenhagen. So, you can see that all these sites, there's that whole, liable to make stuff up to say we're going to buy this player, we're buying that player, we're buying this player. Look, until it comes out, as confirmed by Four Lads, by Heart and Hand, who are club partners who speak to the club, or Chris Jack, or it comes out from Fabrizio Romano, it isn't true. And it's all supposition. And you've got to be so careful with your sources, where you're getting information from. Blue Milk says, if Shankland is so good, why has no one else been in for him? Well, apparently, according to Hearts, no one's been in for him, Mr. Blue Milk. No one's been in for him. Ian still believes that Shankland is coming. Big Jack will want to stay here. I think Jack will stay here till at least the end of the season. Like I said, if a bid of 20 to 25 million was to come in next summer, I can't see the board turning it down. That's the trading model, unfortunately. Alistair Cole Kilgore says, Owen, there's always Kevin Van Veen, who's been whoring himself out, begging to join us, possibly not going on Dessa's lol. I'll be honest with you, mate. I wouldn't want Van Veen. He's too old. He's past it now. I think that's dead. And I think there's actually talk of him joining Vitesse on loan to the end of the season. So I don't think that's a go at all. No striker, no 56, says Aldo. Mr. Blue, exactly. No one wants him. Shankland is not worth 5 million, says Mr. Blue Milk. I don't think he is, to be honest with you. I don't think he is worth 5 million. 3 million, I think 3.5 million at max for him. Fair price. That. No chance the window is over. Simple as. Look, I hope you're right, 56. We are the people. I really do. It's just what I've read on a few places tonight. Like I said, it could be utter rubbish. Goldson thinks I think he's overrated. Tav scores goals, but he can't defend, says Aldo. There's more bullshit floating about than comes out of Sturgeon's mouth, says Arnie. Getting political here. Has he read some of these comments out previously? I don't know, Jim. If we don't get a striker, I'll just accept we're winning nothing, says Stuart. I think that's the one thing that concerns me. Really does concern me that if we don't get a striker, that we don't move on, that we don't progress, that we don't win 56. And what's a sin for me, I think, is that they are not a good team. They are a shocking team this year. They've signed that Adam Eder, who is a third string striker from Norwich, who couldn't get in the Norwich team. I suppose we could say, well, we've signed Camwell and Dowler, who couldn't get in the Norwich team. But, Eder is not a great striker, guys, and they've signed him. They're not in a good place at the moment. They're falling out with themselves. Brendan Rodgers is talking a lot of crap all the time. Dermot Desmond was playing golf with Rory McIlroy today rather than trying to sign players. Look, at the end of the day, they're in a mess, but we need to be in a position to take advantage of it. And I think, a striker is an absolute must. Absolute must. And if you trust, I trust the rest just nonsense. Agreed. Bolton for Shankland. No, Jim, everyone's saying Shankland's this, Shankland's that. It's just a joke. I think a lot of people have gone. Absolutely. Van Gonny, Jesus. Forest will never win anything other than relegation. FFP, looking into them probably more like Ross Wilson's increased wages. Yeah, I think that's kind of as well could be a bit of lazy journalism there, given the fact that Ross Wilson is there. Pav supposedly going for PSV, going for Manhoff. Wouldn't mind going back for him, even with Cortez. I think that's probably dead now that we're getting Cortez. If Big Jack goes in the summer, who replaces him? Bobby McCrory? I don't know. Good question. Stick Tav up front. Good shout. Surely we must know our club is professionally enough to protect any party involved in any signings. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think that this would have leaked out like it would if it was true, Jim. I don't think that would be the case. Although we could play Amoruso 5 at the back and have 9 up front. Geordie, I'd like cover Savic and Rakow, but Big Staunch Jack's going nowhere. Big Ammo was a tank. Yeah, Big Ammo was a star, wasn't he? Love Big Ammo. We have already won 1 trophy. Why is the cynical? Clemon has totally changed. You're right, he has. I just think we lack a clinical finisher. That's the one thing we lack. Shankland is worth 6 to 8 million to Hearts for third. Anything less isn't going to get him. And the Sheep want 6 million plus no choice. He's persistent. I'll give him that. Only 3 million euros for Manhoff would be a bargain. It would be, but I just cannot see Manhoff coming. Now we've signed Cortez. I can't see us going for Manhoff. I just don't see that being a priority now. And also, the fact that Vitesse are very unwilling to sell him as well. I don't know. Honestly, don't know, guys. 211 watching. Please smash that like. Trust Dessers, but the board are worrying me if they think Dessers is the answer. Like I said, look, forget the whole does Dessers score enough goals? Does Dessers take his chances stuff? For me, it's not just about that. It's about what if he gets injured? If we go to the end of the season now with just Silva and Dessers, Silva is not a 9. Look, he isn't a 9. He's a 10 or a winger. He's not a 9. He's just not a 9. He's a support striker. He's a second striker. So I don't. My worry is if he gets injured, if Dessers gets injured, we've then just got Silva. Is that enough up front? That's the question. That is the big question. 56 Hearts overinflated. We Shankland. We all know it. Apparently, Vitesse have said Manhoff can leave. But like I said, now we've signed Cortez. I can't see us going for Manhoff as well. See the links that we had to that boy in Arsenal that came out from nowhere. Also, he's a right back, so it shows we're looking all over the park. The media basically know nothing. That's what I said. They don't know. It's a lot of rubbish that has been made up about Rangers. There's a lot of rumours going around. Philippe Clement even said, didn't he, that a lot of what has been said in the media was utter rubbish, didn't he? So there you go. Celta player injured for Japan. Yeah, Rio Hatate is injured, apparently. Out injured. It's the Fabrizio Parody account. Yeah, absolutely. Dessers and Silva alone are not enough. That is my feeling. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's enough. Look, Silva is a promising young lad. He's a good lad. He's a skillful lad. He works hard, but I don't think he gets you enough goals. And my worry is without Seema in the team, where are the goals coming from? Yes, Seema was scoring goals. Are we going back to relying on Tav to score us the goals? Is it going to be enough? I don't know. Dessers and Silva alone are not enough. It's my feeling. We've got our comment before. Don't trust Dessers. Going fast now. The money in transfer fees owed from the summer and the future means it's not going to happen. Yeah, there's still a lot of money owed to the club, isn't there? I mean, apparently the final Nathan Patterson payment from Everton hasn't been made because they're in a lot of financial difficulty at the moment. They breached the Premier League fair play rules. Now, according to the rules, you can only overspend by a certain percentage. They said they only overspent by 9 million. It now turns out with investigations, Everton overspent by 250 million. So are well in debt. Jim Sloan, thank you so much. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much, Jim. Very generous indeed. Likewise, all those, but yeah, absolutely. Not Rangers related. I had to play FC24 on the Xbox One. Bad legendary, but since I switched to Xbox Series X, I honestly don't know, mate. I haven't got an Xbox or a PlayStation, so I don't know. My stepson has. Stepson's got a PlayStation 5. He plays as Man United because his uncle's a Man United fan. I'm trying to educate him. No striker, but we'll still win this league. Philippe will knock it out of the park before the end. I really hope so, Robert. Matt Gunner says, Maximilian Entrup, 26-year-old, 8 goals to assist in Austria in 10 games. That's good stats. Matt, it's whether we've looked at him. It's whether we've scouted him. We don't know who the club have scouted. As good as Des is in, we won't win the league or the Scottish Cup if we one fit striker until June. It's bloody mad. So absolutely, we will not win the league with just Des. It's just not going to happen. You can't make mistakes for years to disappear in 31 days. Correct, Carlo. We do need time to rebuild this squad. I'm talking money we owe out as well. We do, I suppose, yeah, there is money owed for transfer fees. There always is, isn't there? Rangers learned nothing after the Europa League final, 0 strikers. That's always the worry, that you go into the rest of the season and you haven't got any strikers. That is a massive worry, Stuart. You are right. Aldo says, yeah, absolutely. Dave J, well, congratulations, mate. Member for 5 months. Thank you so much for your membership. Fuck that PlayStation ones. Yeah, I won't say that to my stepson, mate. Money on, we get to Europa League final again with no striker again, says Matt Gunner. Mate, I would love to go to the Europa League final again, as long as obviously the outcome is different. Agreed, Aaron, there's just not enough goals. This is my worry. You know, Canwell's isn't scoring enough goals. Lawrence is always injured. McCausland doesn't score enough goals. Seamer was our one great goal scoring threat. Lundstrom doesn't score enough goals. Raskin doesn't score enough goals. Other than Seamer and Dessers, who's scoring the goals? Tav, that's it, really. That is it. Would you take Kent on a free to cover Seamer's injury? No chance. No chance. Not a chance. Not a chance. Not a chance, buddy. Not a chance. Millennials. Lol. I'm laughing at the millennials in this chat. All these players we are signing. Ibrox only got a 48,000 capacity. What we're going to fill the stand full of just signings. That's a good point, Ian. Very funny. Robert says no to Kent. Look, whatever happens, I mean, I think tonight it looks like that's it tonight. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything else going on as regards transfers tonight. In time, I know that transfer deadline day closes in other places at other times. I understand that, you know, and that's the situation. But in England and Scotland, it closes tomorrow. It is closing tomorrow. So obviously we'll see tomorrow at 11:30 once the deal is done. What is happening? You know, there's so much stuff. You know, if you Google Rangers, you can find so much stuff. You know, according that apparently we still owe 42 million in transfer fees. How true that is, I don't know. You know, look, I think, you know, the fact apparently as well that we've said that we pay a lot in installments is adding to our transfer debt. Apparently there is a transfer debt there, but again, I don't know how true that is. There's a lot of stuff going around, isn't there, at this moment in time? All these players were signing. Yes, I did that one, didn't I? Where did I get to? Seamer and Dessa, Danny Boy will be back by then. Roof may get 5 minutes as well. We don't score goals from set pieces either. Good, we concede them, don't we? We concede them. Kent would be going backwards. He would. I don't think Kent is a Clermont player. Yeah, everyone does pay in installments, correct? But play Cortez as a 9 could do, I suppose. But he's more a 10 and a winger. He's not an out and out 9. He's more a 10 and a winger. Great show. Thank you very much, Ian. We will get a lad for goals before it shuts down. Robert, I really hope so. You know, or maybe Zach Lovelace comes good. I don't know. That could be a possibility, couldn't it? I really don't know, guys. I really don't know. Look, whatever happens, you know, we'll obviously try and keep all over it tomorrow. Bring you a morning news video. As always, guys, on the channel, we will bring you a morning news video. What is going on with Rangers. As always, guys, like I said, there's 200 people watching at the moment. If you can smash the like, that would be phenomenal. And also, if you could do me a massive favor and sub to the channel, we are so close to hitting the magic 5,000 subscriber mark. It would be phenomenal if you could hit that sub for me. That would be brilliant. What have we got here? What happens if Dessus and Fabio? But that's what point I've been making all night. We are forgetting Kent used to tackle himself. True. I've not played FIFA for a couple of years now, but I'll be back to semi-pro. Ha ha. Imagine Kent and Cantwell running around the pitch like headless chickens. Kent had his contract frozen. That's true. Absolutely. He has had his contract frozen. 100%. Okay, guys. We're going to good podcast today on the latest on Butland. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Dominic. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Press the like button. Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for your support tonight, for coming to join me. Just want to do a bit of a pod tonight to talk about everything that's going on with the club. There is a video out on Hefte at the moment. That's currently out there running. Yeah, we do have to worry about FFP. No, we're not in any FFP danger at this moment in time, 56. That is what I'm hearing. We're not in any FFP danger at this moment in time. I mean, not if you consider that other clubs are owing 250, 300 million pounds. And Manchester City have got 115 charges against them for FFP breaches, for young player breaches, etc. So look, at the end of the day, I don't think we're in any danger there. Okay, guys, on the way out, if you can do me a favor, if you can smash the like, as always, thank you so much for watching. And the second thing is, remember always, we are the people.